done all the things a wife is supposed to do. Where is the payback?
ความรักศรัทธาฆาตกรรม
I just don't want anybody to get hurt.
Love and Death Limited Series ความยาว 7 ตอนจบจาก HBO พร้อมพาทุกคนขุดคุยคดีจริงสุดอื้อฉาวในไวลี่เท็กซัสปี 1980 เมื่อแม่บ้านสาวอย่างเบ็ตตี้กอร์ถูกสังหารอย่างโหดเหี้ยมด้วยการถูกขวานจามกว่า 41 ครั้งโดยผู้ต้องสงสัยก็ไม่ใช่ใครที่ไหนนอกจากแคนดี้มอนโกเมอรีเพื่อนบ้านคนสนิทที่แอบมีสัมพันธ์สวัสดกับอลันกอร์สามีของเหยื่ออย่างเบ็ตตี้
Andy, you having an affair with Alan?
โศกนาฏกรรมสะเทือนขวัญที่เกิดขึ้นในย่านคนเมืองอันแสนสงบสุขเชื่อมั่นในศาสนาแต่กลับมีความชั่วร้ายซุกซ่อนอยู่ใต้ชายคา
Betty? Betty?
Betty's dead.
Oh my God.
โดนใจอย่างจังกับเดวิดอีเคลลีสุดยอดโชว์รันเนอร์เจ้าของ8 รางวัลเอมี่อวอร์ดจากซีรีส์ชั้นเยี่ยมอย่าง Big Little Lies และ The Undoing ขวาสิทธิ์ดัดแปลงเรื่องราวจากหนังสือขายดีอย่าง Evidence of Love ที่บันทึกทุกแง่มุมของคดีนี้ไว้อย่างละเอียดยิบมาสร้างสรรค์เป็น Limited Series ผ่านฝีมือการกำกับของเลซี่ลิงกาแกรเตอร์ผู้กำกับซีรีส์ฝีมือทองเจ้าของผลงานอย่าง The Newsroom The Leftovers และ Homeland ยกทีมนักแสดงยอดฝีมือมาประชันบทบาทกันอย่างเผ็ดร้อนนำทีมโดย Elizabeth Olsen เจ้าของบท Scarlet Witch จากจักรวาล MCU และเจสซี่เพลย์มอนต์จากซีรีส์ Breaking Bad สมทบด้วยนักแสดงคุณภาพล้นจอทั้งแพทริกฟูจิตจาก Almost Famous ลิลลี่เลฟจาก Misty Vance ทอมเพลฟรีจากซีรีส์ Ozark และคริสเซนลิเทอร์จากซีรีส์ Jessica Jones
Andy, whatever you have, you always want more.
I do. And I'm not going to apologize for it.
พิเศษกว่าใคร HBO มอบโบนัสชุดใหญ่ให้กับแฟนๆ JUST Just Do It ต่อสายตรงเราพูดคุยกับผู้กำกับและทีมนักแสดงแบบครบเซตตอกย้ำให้ทุกคนได้รู้ว่าซีรีส์เรื่องนี้ห้ามพลาดแค่ไหน
Hi, I'm Chamdakit from Just Do It Thailand สวัสดีครับ
Hi. It's so nice to meet you.
Wake up.
Hey, so nice to meet you.
We're admiring everything that we're looking at. The shirt,
Love the shirt.
posters.
I just brought it today for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious that which aspect of the script that intrigued you the most as the director and also executive producer?
I was sent the Texas Monthly, the 2 Texas Monthly articles, and the book Evidence of Love. Simultaneously, David E. Kelley was sent the same materials. We have wanted to work together for 1,000 years or so, and somehow our paths did not cross. And with reading these articles and reading the book, I just couldn't even believe these stories were true. And what I was interested in were the characters. And I think both of us came at the material from that direction of wanting to do a deep dive into these incredibly complex characters. David E. Kelley and I were much more interested in the why this happened, rather than the kind of classic true crime drama, how it happened.
It is human nature to take risks, to go for something with a little thrill at the risk of falling.
Oh, you okay?
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Would you be interested in having an affair?
Okay, Patrick, from your perspective, what is the true horror of this story?
Maybe the most bittersweet or saddest part is that these couples, these partnerships, these relationships had the chance to evolve and develop in a healthy way, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to engage with each other. It's not about characters that are disconnected. It's about characters who are desperately trying to connect. And that is a sort of tragedy that I can appreciate. That's very real and very human.
I really believe that had things turned out differently, that for Betty and Alan, that they would have made it.
So, why Elizabeth Olsen is a perfect choice for Candy? Why her?
She is an incredibly complicated, layered, complex character. I mean, we're looking at 1978. On the surface, everything is perfect. You know, you follow the rules. At 20, you get married, you have your 2 kids, you move to the suburbs for a better life.
God, that's supposed to be enough.
But she feels empty inside. She has a hole inside of her that is huge, and she doesn't really have the skills to fill it. And that, to me, is why tell the story, why Candy. And of course, Elizabeth Olsen, Lizzie, allows us to travel deep inside of that character.
Sometimes I forget how pretty you are.
This character, I felt like I understood quickly the potential of what I could play with. It felt like it was something that I haven't really played before. There is something really deeply feminine about her and obsessive. The circumstances that she finds herself in seemed odd to put this woman in these situations and in a way that I found intriguing. I also really loved talking to David and Leslie when we first met, and I felt very aligned with how they envisioned the show. And so for all those reasons, I was excited to get to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure the show is like, get me exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, my father, he used to say to me, Candy, if you ain't searching, you're lost.
Since the show is based on true story, what's your strategy on playing a real person? That's tough, right?
Yeah, well, you know, luckily for me, there was a lot of material to sort of read and go through. You know, the source material that David based his writing on had a lot of great stories about Don Crowder that weren't in the scripts.
Yeah, just gathering a bunch of information, and I'm always trying to find the way in that doesn't feel like work. You know, that is just like a little trail that is really interesting, and then just kind of let your curiosity and interest guide you through it, you know.
You say it like it's so easy. You're always the best,
Oh,
man.
I really love that. I love listening.
Thank you.
I'm so wondered, right? Jess is so
I
good
agree.
in
I
every
know.
kind of role to see him.
I know, I was so
on, guys.
excited when he said he wanted to do the job.
And we can never, ever allow Betty or Pat to get hurt.
Never.
And right before we started filming, the woman who plays my wife, Carol, brought me an article that was an interview that they'd done in like the mid-90s with Carol Crowder about Don after he passed. And one of the things I learned from that was that after they divorced, they remained best friends, which I thought was pretty impressive and not what you might expect. And I thought that alone, you know, told me a lot about the kind of man that Don was. It suggested to me that he was probably a pretty good guy.
Here at Lucas, people just want to raise their kids, love their family, love God, doesn't call for heavy lifting on your part, just don't be a dick.
I've played a number of real people, and it's always a challenge that I love when you're doing it. Yeah, there you go. That's true. I've been very lucky to do it, and that's a perfect example, with incredible filmmakers who come in with very specific points of view. You know the show you're making, you know the story you're telling, you know the version of the story that you're telling, and that's sort of the most important thing. And then, you know, I always love having the ability to do a ton of research, but really, you know, you just want to tell the best version that you can of the truth of the journey that the character you're playing had.
I saw that. What was that? Excuse me? You two just looked at each other like you got a
big secret.
Okay, Kristen, what are the best thing about taking on the scene with Elizabeth Olsen?
Working opposite Lizzie is just heaven. She's such a great actress, and we got along so beautifully from day one. We had just a natural sort of friendship develop, and I think that translates in our scenes together. And we hung out on the weekends, and she played with my son, and she's just delicious.
What do you mean he smelled like sex? I mean, he smelled like sex.
You guys are so good together. Sometimes I just forget that I'm watching a murder show.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the best aspects of the show is the costume and the makeup. How does it help you guys transform into the character? Especially you, Tom.
You mean the tan? Yeah. Oh, that helped me. Trust me. I have spent a lot of hours in my underwear up against the wall getting spray tanned. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's great. The clothes inform so much, just the way they fit on your body and the way they kind of make you want to stand up a little more straight. And I think the hair was fabulous. I think you had a good time with that too.
Yeah, I mean, that was like part of the fun of it for me, doing anything in that time period. I really wanted to lean into it. The bigger the hair, the better. And I said yes to everything. Our costumes were so authentic and so great. And anytime you can like help disappear into a character or like have a different physicality,
You need to be careful.
I don't talk or move or dress the way that Pat Montgomery did in this story. And so being able to put all of that on, all that additional sort of character development on is so helpful. And really, aside from getting to talk to Lizzie and figuring out what the energy between us was going to be, that was probably the biggest developmental stage in the process, was putting on the clothing.
it's all the full package. It's you, it's the writing, it's the hair, it's the makeup, it's the whole thing. Like that's how you complete the look.
I have another question for you, but it's kind of important.
Okay.
Do you like roller coasters?
It's a roller coaster. We are telling a very strange, tragic story in hopefully a way that is entertaining.
It's an unbelievable story that if it hadn't actually happened, you couldn't make a show about it. It's really a story about humanity and about relationships.
I think it's nice when people get different things out of a show and aren't spoon-fed how they're supposed to feel. And I do think we allow people to kind of create their own adventure of the opinions that they want to form.
Until we are parted by death.
Love and Death ดูได้แล้ววันนี้ที่ HBOGO พบกับตอนใหม่ทุกวันพฤหัสบดี
Alright, that's it for me today. In a name of Thai fan, we love you. Thank you so much. Can't wait for more from you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wish I had more time. I wish I can
so great to
talk
meet
to
you.
you about this film.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Just promise me that after the show is finished, upload your behind the scene photo. I want to see all the things that you around.
I have so many great behind the scenes photos.
I do.
That
I
I'm
have
saving.
good ones. Yeah, I have good ones too.
And it's an honor to speak with one of the masterful director. I'm a big fan of you. Thank you so much.
so much. That's so nice
Keep
of
up
you
the
to
good
say.
work.
ก่อนจากกันไปบอกพวกเราหน่อยครับว่าซีรีส์ฆาตกรรมเรื่องไหนคือที่สุดของคุณ ถ้าคุณรักการดูซีรีส์ก็อย่าลืมกดซับกดแชร์กดไลค์และกดปุ่มแจ้งเตือนเอาไว้เพื่อไม่ให้พลาดหลากคอนเทนต์สุด Exclusive เจาะลึกถึงความบันเทิงหลากหลายกว่าใครที่เดียวที่จอดอ JUST do it พิมพ์จารีตภาษาอังกฤษส่วนดูภาษาไทย